You and I went out and saw another movie together in the theater. Yeah, it's that guy. It Chapter 2 was the movie that we saw, and I was scrambling to finish the book in time for the movie to come out, and we saw it on opening day.
I walked out of the theater very satisfied, and then since then, it's just kind of dwindled away my happiness with the movie.
A lot of critics say that it's not scary. I didn't agree with that at first, but I have to say that the day after we saw that movie, I went camping in the North Woods, and I spent 2 days walking through pitch black woods, sleeping in tents, hearing forest noises. Pennywise the Clown never entered my mind once.
When I read the book, I was in Boy Scout camp for a week, and I was always walking through the woods expecting to see the red balloon floating up out of a fern.
But I really like the movie. I mean, visually, it's so stunning, and it's so well done, and it delivers scares in such a unique and various way. There were certain things about the book that didn't quite work that the movie kind of fixed. In particular, the way that they finally dispatch the clown. I think the death of Pennywise in the movie is a bit sad and kind of beautiful.
The way they dispatch him in the book makes no sense at all.
No,
it's just some jumbly Stephen King
flying
ending
through space and
spider, turtle. The thing that's great about Skarsgård's performance is that in the It miniseries, Tim Curry makes the perfect Pennywise.
Yeah.
And the fact that Skarsgård can come in and just wash all of that away. No, this is Pennywise now.
Skarsgård.
Whatever.
Skarsgård is a different guy. Who's also creepy in his own way. I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. During the 8 years of doing this show with you, I've had a chance to evaluate your social skills.
Yeah, you're talking funny with the people.
You seem to get along well with others. You're a gregarious sort, and that's going to serve you well tonight because you're about to make some new friends. The Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Yes! This is a fine, super fine movie.
Released in 1973, TFOEC was directed by Peter Yates and stars Robert Mitchum and Peter Boyle.
Putting on the Ritz!
During the making of the film, which depicts the criminal exploits of the Irish mob in Boston, Mitchum was interested in mingling with the local gangsters as part of his research. He was advised against meeting notorious Boston gangster Whitey Bulger, but his co-star and ex-Winter Hill gang member, Alex Rocco, did manage to hook Mitchum up with his former criminal cohort, Howie Winter. What they talked about? Who knows? Probably gang stuff.
Alex Rocco. Mo Green was actually a gangster.
Yep.
I had no idea.
If you're going to go mingling with criminal types, it's best that you have an ally.
Grow a mobster. Come join the family.
Yep. There you go. Take the freeway, that Boston freeway that's always has a lot of traffic. Get off in Boston, where there's an old leather couch, and we're all set to watch The Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Go to the end of I-90. Turn left.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. I got him right here. Don't worry, folks. If I were a rapper, I would rap about this movie, because Eddie Coyle and Peter Boyle is an easy rhyme. Oh, go to PJ's. Get the crullers. We're all set to get some Irish funk.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Can you feel it down in the groove?
Irish funk is not easy to play. It's very difficult to do slap penny whistle. An armored car pulls up to a bank. Several bags of money are taken out of it and put into the bank.
Shotgun, obviously.
A man walks into the bank.
May I have change for 10?
Yes, how would you like it?
10 singles will be fine.
I'm going to a strip club. And I am on a budget.
This is what's called casing the joint.
Eddie Fingers Coyle is in a cafeteria. Mitchum ordering quiche, that's off-brand. Give me a decaf macchiato.
Eddie's a small-time gangster working for a big-time gangster.
He's meeting with Jackie Brown, a gun dealer. He wants 30 guns.
He had this thing happen with his hand.
Look at your own goddamn hand. Count your fucking knuckles. As many as you got, I got 4 more. You know how I got those?
Birth defect.
You put your hand in a drawer, and somebody kicks the drawer shut. Hurt like a bastard.
I know bastards. I hear it a lot. They have father issues. So basically, it's just best not to have hands at all.
Dylan is a guy who owns a bar. He has a head of some size. Peter Boyle's got a head like a thumb. A lot of wasted space in this establishment. You should put a bunch of tables in the middle there. He is meeting with Dave Foley, who's an FBI agent. That's right, Dylan's an informant. And he tells Foley things that he hears in the bar. Jackie B goes to the quarry.
I never have any business in a quarry.
No.
I am not a gangster, and I am not in construction.
Thanks for meeting me here at the quarry. Mr. Patrick is a bank manager. He's at home with his family, and his home is invaded by men in masks.
Terrifying masks.
Those masks are the scariest thing ever created. If somebody just showed up in my house wearing one of those, if they just knocked on the door and I opened the door and they were wearing that mask, I would just drop dead of fright. It's Scalise and his gang.
They're going to hold his family hostage. The bank manager is going to make certain that the whole robbery goes very smoothly.
Bing bong.
Don't press no buttons. Calm down. Keep quiet. No one will get hurt.
Robbing a bank would be worth it just for the whole jumping over the counter thing.
So everyone, please cooperate and don't set off any alarms.
Not the ooga ooga alarm. Not the wee you alarm. No alarms at all. Don't even be alarmed. Don't even go, even that'll set him off. It is the perfect crime.
Though things do get tense.
When the fuck is it open?
I don't like these gritty 70s thieves. Give me the gentleman bank robber of the Great Depression any day. When he jumps up on the desk, he says, "Folks, if you wouldn't mind."
Eddie's at home with his wife, Sheila. He's got 3 kids.
The little Coyles are off to school.
Bobby, Jenny, and Tesla Coyle.
We need to call a guy about this string.
Goddamn lawyer of mine.
Can we do something about this string?
Eddie. It's morning.
Just call me Coyle in the morning. Eddie has been convicted of driving a car full of stolen whiskey.
I'm looking at 3 to 5, it seems like.
But he's too old for that. So he's meeting with FBI man Dave Foley. If I do something for you, maybe you can go to the judge and get that sentence reduced. You bring me something, I'll see what I can do.
Jackie has another business meeting.
Hey, are you selling something?
That depends.
Are you subtle?
Hey, come to the back door.
Hey, do you sell guns? What? Do you sell guns?
Brown meets with these 2 kids, Pete and Andrea. They want some machine guns because they're going to go rob a bank. He doesn't trust him, but he'll take their money. Eddie meets with Brown. Hey, I need the rest of my guns. It's important.
So I told the man that he could depend on me because you told me I could depend on you.
So we got a lot of depends and a lot of shit to deal with.
You finished?
No, I'm not finished.
No, I'm Irished.
I'm getting old, you hear?
I got a weird string in my kitchen, so don't make me angry.
When you say it happens, it's gonna fucking happen. If it don't, you got your thing caught in a zipper.
Just like Ben Stiller in a scene from the movie There's Something About Mary that Craig really likes, but Matt takes issue with. Jackie B goes to the woods with this kid. He's going to buy those machine guns.
I said, get out.
This is my gun. I bought it from myself.
You go up to the guys, have them come down here. I'm going to call all the shots because I don't want to be killed for all the money that I have.
This life's hard, man, but it's harder if you're stupid.
Everything's harder if you're stupid. And that's the title of my TED Talk.
Now get your ass down here.
I got a 45 on you.
I got 45 on it. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. Here are your guns, but let me just say, it was not a pleasure doing business with you. You're rude. Scalise and his goons are robbing another bank.
You too, lover.
May I have your attention? I want to remind you not to attempt anything courageous.
Also, it's Carol's birthday.
There'll be cake in the break room.
After the robbery.
Yes.
Everything is going without a hitch. Once again, we're treated to some light vault funk. Until some bozo decides to ring an alarm.
Take that, nerd.
Guns, guns, knuckles, guns. Artie Van tells Eddie all about the bank job that went wrong. Boy, that's too bad.
Just get the guns, let's go.
Yeah.
Could you validate my parking?
Casting Peter Boyle as Frankenstein was genius. No makeup needed. Eddie meets Jackie in a supermarket parking lot, and he gets the rest of his guns.
Put the guns in the bag, put the bags in the car.
Put the car in the cage, and the cage in the water, and the sharks in the water.
My friend, your name is in that great golden book in the sky.
The Bar the Elephant. Or perhaps...
Oh, Golden Book. You mean the pokey little puppy?
Pokey Little Puppy, yeah.
Hello. Foley there. Dave Foley.
He's one of the Daves I know. He's one of the Daves I know. And Jackie Brown has got a busy day. He's now going to meet with those two kids and sell them the machine guns. But what he doesn't know is Dave Foley and the FBI are waiting for him. Chevrolet. That's a fine American car. My dad used to drive a heavy Nova.
I don't like the feeling of this whole thing. It seems like there's a lot of suspicious people around here. Come back in a couple hours, we'll do the deal. But right now, I'm not selling you any guns.
Later, Pete. Get something to eat.
Tell you what, Pete. You go and sit up in a tree with your friend Repeat. When one of you falls off, then we got a deal. They spring the trap.
They chase Jackie all over the parking lot.
The bird is still in the coop. Repeat, the bird is still in the coop. Jackie tries to get away, but he doesn't, and he is arrested. Eddie Coyle rolled over on Brown. I did my thing, now you need to do your thing for me. But Foley says, sorry, Eddie. I talked to the judge.
That really wasn't enough.
Hey, Dave, come on. Don't jerk my chain, okay?
He should say, don't jerk my string, because of that weird string in his kitchen.
When you got a guy that's joined up that's going to keep on sending you more stuff.
That's shit.
You are doing some world-class chain jerking. They want him to become...
Permanent goddamn fink.
Permanent fink. But Eddie, you've got that permanent fink feel. Eddie Coyle doesn't truck with finkery. Truck? Foley, you may be one of the Daves I know, but you're not one of the Daves I like. Not anymore.
Eddie stops by Scalise's place.
This is Wanda. Wanda, meet Eddie.
Wanda, get lost.
Tell him what you do, honey.
You tell him.
She's the ambassador to Denmark.
Get the man a beer.
Get the man a beer.
It turns out that Eddie was buying those guns for Scalise and his gang.
Scalise and company do one last job.
Hey, this is the vault theme. They're not in a vault.
What's their mask gonna be this time? Oh, classic. Ski. These to me are the scariest things.
They go to another bank manager's house. That's a very pensive ski mask. He looks like an angry Muppet. Business as usual for Scalise and his gang. But unfortunately...
April Fool, motherfuckers.
Good night, Scalise. You're going away for a long time.
Eddie goes to Foley.
I'm ready to deal with you.
I can tell you who's been doing those bank jobs.
But I don't want no surprises.
No alarms and no surprises.
Okay.
Computer.
Haven't you read the paper? We already got that guy. You don't got nothing, Eddie. So who ratted it? Oh, it's Boyle. Peter Boyle. He ratted on him.
Old male pattern actor.
Peter Boyle was 4F from military service due to head visibility. The thing would just get shot off immediately. But unfortunately, the Irish mob thinks that Eddie did inform on them. And a guy meets with Dylan and tells him to put out a hit on Eddie Coyle. For Peter Boyle, keeping the hair on the sides of the head was a very good choice, because it gives his head boundaries. If that hair wasn't there, his head would just be as wide as the sky. Eddie comes to the bar. He's getting drunk.
Yeah, I imagine they would too.
Peter Boyle looks like the world's most masculine baby.
Finger breaking thing was so bad he lost the love on his hand.
Why don't you come to the hockey game with me tonight, and we'll have some more alcohol. The job on Eddie is as good as done. Peter Boyle's forehead has a forehead. The Bruins play the Blackhawks. Whoever came up with the idea to have Jason Voorhees wear a hockey mask, they deserve a special Oscar for that. They get him in the car. When Eddie Coyle gets home from a hard day's work, do you think he says, "Now you can call me Eddie Uncoil"?
Eddie passes out.
They drive into the Boston Tunnel.
And Dylan kills Eddie.
They drop him off in the parking lot of a bowling alley. Bowling? He's going to be a terrible bowler. He's a corpse.
Yeah, but you know whose head would work great as a bowling ball? Peter Boyle.
Dylan meets up with his buddy Dave Foley and tells a little story about pigeons.
10 million pigeons in Boston alone. All of them laying eggs every day.
And that is the conclusion of The Friends of Eddie Coyle. The Friends of Eddie Coyle. This life's hard, man, but it's harder if you're stupid. Was Eddie stupid?
He's a man who thinks he's wise, which means he is not.
He was a chump. He seems to be in that unenviable criminal position of having a lot of contacts and no power.
He's about this high in the bunch, but he gets around more than any man I've ever seen.
So everybody knows him, everybody wants him to do stuff for him.
No one appreciates him.
And no one appreciates him, and he gets nothing from it.
They don't look out for him when he has to go away.
Yeah.
Which you think the mob's going to do, but they're not going to do.
Yeah, he's a lifer with no retirement plan. This is a story that it's really hard to put your finger on what the story is. Mm-hmm. I think it is a slice of the very unglamorous criminal life. It's like the Iceman showed us.
There's nothing other than people having meetings in this entire movie. And yet is compelling. The bank robberies are just basically another deal that's happening.
It's very slow and strategic. Jackie Brown, the gun dealer, he does nothing but complain about how busy he is all the time.
I've been on the road all fucking day, one thing or another, and by the time I get home tonight, it's going to be morning.
He's not going to be able to hire help. Mm-hmm. He doesn't make that much money. He does it all himself. And so all day he's just driving around from place to place, worried that he's going to get pinched.
He's got a trunk load of guns, and he's got a face that says, "Check my trunk." And everyone is constantly moving. Eddie, Foley, when does that guy even sleep? He's constantly either at the office telling people what's going on or getting dirt at one horrible restaurant or another.
Yeah, or on the street. And the acting in this really suits the story. It is acting with absolutely no artifice.
Mm-hmm. I really like Richard Jordan.
And he was in Logan's Run.
After the parking lot chase, when he makes the arrest and he opens up the door, he looks and sounds afraid.
Get out of the car and keep your hands in plain sight.
This guy's a gun merchant.
Yeah.
I'm going to be met by a gun I can't see. And, he plays that just for a second. That's just really quality stuff right there.
He really comes off as heroic and weaselly at the same time. Mm-hmm. He's a weasel hero.
Yes.
I really want to talk about this pigeon speech at the end, because I think it's important. Obviously, it's a metaphor. There's millions of pigeons. There's making new pigeons every day.
All, dropping tons and tons of shit every day, rain or shine.
Which is sort of a metaphor for criminals. And also, pigeons are not geese. They don't flock. And that's kind of how these criminals in this story are. These little islands of themselves, and then inevitably they just get picked off.
They think they're working together, but no, they're just kind of getting something they need here and something they need here. Oh, I need a gun. I'm going to go talk to Eddie. And then Eddie's going to go and talk to Jackie. And Jackie's going to talk to his friend from New Hampshire.
But this long chain of middlemen, inevitably someone's going to roll over on me. What do you think of the title? Why is it called that?
No one even qualifies. He has no friends. Not that his friends will turn against him, which they will, but that they're not even garden variety friends. And no one's going to miss him when he goes to New Hampshire. No one's going to miss him when he goes to the graveyard. We may as well call it the lovers of Eddie Coyle, because they're as much friends as they are lovers. During the movie, I got the song Pop Goes the Weasel in my head. And I think that really could be the theme song of this movie. Everyone's a weasel, and they're all about to pop.
In a way, it's a happy ending, because Eddie doesn't have to go to prison, and he gets out of this life that ultimately is making him miserable.
Well, that's a way of thinking about it.
The friends of Eddie Coyle have all gone home, and now it's time for us to make friends with Seen It.
Seen It.
The scary month of October is just around the corner, and so I think we're going to have a little taste of that tonight. We're going to do Seen It, Read It, Stephen King.
Oh, yeah.
How about we start with his first novel? XX Chizira says, my favorite book is Carrie by Stephen King. Seen It, Read It.
Seen It, Read It.
The book is unfilmable because of its narrative structure. Mm-hmm. It has the events of the Carrie story and then the aftermath of the Carrie story on the world.
And a lot of it is epistolatory, letters, or
reports, studies,
newspaper articles, yes.
The movie doesn't do that. The movie just focuses on the story and tells kind of a straight-up horror story. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's De Palma doing his split-screen business.
And you have a stunning performance in the center of the movie by Sissy Spacek.
Interesting fun fact, the actress who plays Amy Irving's mother in the movie is her real-life mother. Oh. This is something De Palma liked to do. He did this more than once.
Wow.
There's one bad aspect of it, and that is John Travolta, who was totally miscast. Billy Nolan is supposed to be a psychopath, and Travolta just plays him as a beer-drinking goof.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
The Doctor Professor writes, The Dead Zone. Seen it. Reddit.
I read it too. I got the paperback of that cover.
Yeah, check it out. Nice hardcover.
Not much of a horror story.
It's not. It's really kind of a paranormal sci-fi type story.
Yeah.
David Cronenberg directed the movie. If I was teaching screenwriting, I would point to this as being a brilliant adaptation. The key thing to it is the casting of Christopher Walken, performing as this very human Frankenstein monster, like in the weird limp he has going through the movie because of the car crash. There's a moment from when I watched the movie recently, before I finally got around to reading the book. He's at his dinner table with his father, the woman that he was supposed to marry but couldn't because he went into a coma, and her daughter from her current marriage. He just slept with her, finally, and he holds on to the baby, and during that moment, about 8 different emotions flash across his face. When I read the book, there's a paragraph that describes like all 8 of those emotions and he like talks about that moment, and it's like, whoa, Walken's that good.
There is a phrase, devilishly handsome. A young Christopher Walken is ghoulishly handsome. This is very tough to pull off. You could say the same of David Bowie and Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Judy Davis is ghoulishly beautiful.
Yes.
Stephen King is known for attempting humor very often and falling flat on his face.
Yeah.
But when he nails it, he really nails it. This is one of my favorite moments in the book. Johnny Smith has just woken from his 5-year coma. His parents are catching him up. Dad, did Nixon get reelected? Yeah, but he's not in office anymore. He resigned because of this thing called Watergate. Oh no. Spiro Agnew's president? No, he resigned too. It's Ford. Henry Ford is president? Retif Giel, Stephen King's apt pupil. No magic or creatures in this book, just real world horror and human monsters that make it truly unsettling. Seen it, read it.
Not seen it, not read it. Sorry.
You haven't read it? I thought you read this book.
I read 2 of them.
Why didn't you read the whole thing?
I don't know, Matt. I was 14.
I never thought I'd be saying these words. Perfectly cast David Schwimmer.
Huh.
He plays the guidance counselor. Now, all due respect to your dad.
Yes.
When it comes to guidance counselors in movies, you imagine a certain type of person, and Schwimmer plays that perfectly. It's the role of his career.
You know David Schwimmer, Dad.
The ending of the movie is different than the ending in the book. And in a way, it's a lot more sinister. And I guess you'd have to read and watch to know what I'm talking about.
Yes, that goes for you, too. Ethan Hall writes, watched Salem's Lot 1979. Seen it, read it. Salem's Lot has the scariest moment in any Stephen King movie. Danny Glick at the window.
Is it Danny Glick or Ralphie Glick?
I don't care. The Glick...
I think Ralphie is the young boy.
Yeah. I think...
Doesn't matter.
The tapping at the window, and
it's scratching at the window.
And I grew up with a bunch of old, scraggly trees outside my window.
Yeah, once you see that image, it just stays with you your entire childhood. I never actually watched it when I was a kid, but I saw that scene, and it just ruined me. The only thing I remembered that I was positive of is that it starred Keith Carradine. I had no doubt. That is Keith Carradine in the lead. It is not.
Nope.
It's a Keith Carradine type David Soul.
Yes.
Who played Starsky or Hutch. There's a friendly place where you can go that was created by your 3 friends here, and that is our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. It has all of our episodes, and there are also PayPal donation buttons that you can click on and support this show with a monthly or rolling donation. That's the same thing. A one-time or rolling monthly donation.
Meaning you can donate one time or every single month.
One of our donors is Sam, who says, when our daughter was born, we spent many sleepless nights binge-watching entire seasons of Welcome to the Basement episodes. To celebrate my daughter turning 1, I wanted to thank you and all those around you for making such engaging, entertaining, and hilarious shows. You truly saved our sanity.
Well, thank you, Sam, and everyone else who's donated.
To find out who the rest of our donors are and to see the contents of our mail crate, you can watch Unboxing, which comes out this coming Friday. Postcards, packages, records, all kinds of stuff.
Questions answered. New questions formed.
Thank you for joining us today, friends, and now take a look at this.
Thank you for spot checking me. I've been all worried for the last 2 hours, and I'm going to be saying Boyle when I want to say Coyle. That's why I keep saying Eddie. Or Doyle. I have Doyle written down here once, too.
Who's Doyle?
Who's Doyle? I don't know.
April Fool, motherfuckers.